What does a pop star, a point guard, and a dentist have to do with building a mortgage team? A lot more than you actually might think. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the three different team models that I've seen. I'm going to share with you the one that most brokers build and how they get stuck. And I'm going to share with you the other two models. One of them is fantastic if you love sales. One of them is fantastic if you love marketing and managing. And one of them is a great place to start, but can be a trap for most people. Hey, I'm Scott Beckford. This is I Love Mortgage Brokering Podcast. And every week I share with you content that's designed to help you with your mortgage business. And this week I'm taking some training that I had done in my $25 million blueprint program for agents. And I'm just simplifying it a little bit and then just discussing with you guys. And it's these three team models that I've observed after dealing with hundreds of mortgage brokers, coaching them, as well as the podcasts that I've done. I've seen three primary way people set up their business, and they all have strengths and weaknesses. And I'm going to break those down for you and then help you figure out where you are so that you can then go and then where you want to go. Before I jump into that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ownwell. Ownwell is an amazing tool for mortgage brokers in Canada to monitor their clients' home equity and buying power. It essentially sends a report every month that has a very high open rate and lets homeowners know what's going on with their home equity, kind of like they do with a stock, and creates lots and lots of conversations around should I buy a place, should I refi? If you check them out at ownwell.ca and /Scott, and let's jump into this episode. So there's three types of models. The first is there's a celebrity model, there's the point guard model, and then there's the dentist model. So the celebrity model is you're a mortgage broker and you start scaling and you get some help, but your help is behind the scenes and your people that work with you don't even know they exist. So if I were to say to you, who's Taylor Swift's drummer? Most of the people would, unless you're an extreme Swiftie, my daughter is an extreme Swiftie, I don't even think she'd know the answer to that question. Most people don't know the answer to who her drummer is because she is the star of the show. A lot of mortgage brokers start out this way. They become the star of the show. And understandably, it's a lot of work. It's hard. It's challenging. And you start to build this business up around you and your brand and your reputation. And when things go wrong, it's on you. And so what happens is you start to hire people, but everybody that you hire does not actually interact with the client. They sort of work behind the scenes, cleaning things up for you. And still all problems come to you, all conversations come to you, and it works. But when you get to a point where either one of two things, you're either doing more files than you can manage on your own. So for instance, if you're, I'd say about 100 files a year, you can do 100 files a year pretty comfortably with this if you have some support, fulfillment, and other things. Once you want to get to 200 plus files a year, or if you want to be able to take time off and not have to answer your phone, this is more likely. A lot of people say they want to do 200 files, but they don't actually want to build the business that's going to get to 200 files, or maybe they don't know how. But even at 100 files a year, there's a lot of people that would love to be able to just go on vacation for a week and not have to take their computer with them. And they can't because they're the celebrity. Taylor Swift is she's got to make the last call. And people want to talk to you because you're the celebrity and you haven't actually built a team around you where people trust having that conversation. So that's where a lot of people get stuck, but it is a great place to start. And most of you are going to have to do that. Like that's just the bottom line. That's but it's not actually the best model in my opinion. I think, and an extreme version is my buddy, Dustin Woodhouse. He had built a fantastic business and most people, he did, I think 100 million a year, lots of files, and no one that he worked with knew he even had assistants. And that's great, but it turns into long working hours, long days. And so at an extreme end, it can be exhausting unless you have the workhorse of a machine, which most people don't. And so I would just say it's not the path you want to take if you want to either not have to work tons or be able to take some time off. So the second model, which I think is where 80% of brokers should end up, is what I call the point guard model. So you think of Michael Jordan, he has the ball, he gets it down the court, and then he sets up the play. He's the shot maker, he's the deal maker, but he's helping set up his team to score points. He's not scoring all the points. He did score a lot of points, but and the best model I've seen I've seen a couple of people do this. Peter Matheny is a fantastic example. He will do the initial discovery call. He will, but once the discovery call is done, he then hands it off to his team and he pumps up his team's tires so that the client doesn't even want to talk to him after that. And then he just moves on to the next one, right? So then that allows him to fund 400 or 500 files a year and only spend 45 minutes approximately with a client. Renee Hoos is another broker who's I think has done a marvelous job of this. She spends about 20 minutes on a discovery call and then probably about 45 minutes per transaction maximum. And it's you go back and listen to the episode that I did with her recently. It's essentially she's spending about 15 minutes, 20 minutes on a discovery call plus a couple Loom videos, and her time per transaction is about 45 minutes. But her superpower is building that rapport, getting the client to work with them. Her team takes care of everything else. That's a point guard model. And she did 367 files last year. She'll probably do 500 this year. And she can't take time off because she does have help. And people know that it's not just the Renee show versus in the celebrity model. People often don't even know you have support around you and they think it's all you. And so I think that model makes a lot more sense for most brokers, and 80% of people should stay to that model. The next model, what I think, and a small number of brokers have successfully done this that I've come across or that I've had the chance to work with, I call the dentist model. And so it's the most advanced and it's the most profitable structure, but it is the hardest to build because you need two skills that very well developed. And if you don't have the skills, you got to have somebody help you. So the point guard model, you need to have strong sales skills, typically. Strong sales skills, build some team around you. So if you're the person who can put, like Renee, in her case, she can put the basket in the net. She just needs her team to make sure that they set her up so that she can do that. The dentist model is more difficult. So if you think about your dentist, I go to my dentist and he's got 5 hygienists that are working all the time. And then he pops in for the last 10 minutes. He checks your, okay, high five, good job, Scott. Everything's looking good. How's the family? How's the kids? Good, done, out. And he's making way more money because he's able to manage way more transactions. And I've seen the people that have done this well. Mark Good is an example of this. So he does up to 500 files a year, and minimum, he's only doing that closing appointment with them, where it's the strategy or the final session where it's signing, and everything else is done by his clients. I'd say an even more extreme version of this is Dan Eisner from True North. So Dan Eisner has built a model where he doesn't talk to mortgage clients at all. What he does is he builds a machine. So he's got all the staff, he's got the marketing, drives the traffic, and then he's making money from their work. It is the most difficult model, in my opinion, because you have to be either, depending on how big you scale it, of course, but you have to have 2 skills that are not often found in the same person, which is marketing, so driving traffic, and you have to have managing people. You have to be way more better at managing people. And so some people who maybe they don't like sales as much, but they love the marketing, or they have a business, or there's 2 of you, let's say business partners. One of you is a marketer, one of you is a manager of people. It can work really well, and you can scale a very large business, and it will give you the most time freedom and make you the most money, but it is the most difficult to build. And I would say most mortgage brokers probably shouldn't do it, because if you're a good mortgage broker, you're probably going to fall into being good at the sales component. And in that case, just build the point guard model where it's you just touch the ball the least amount possible in the part of the business that you like the most. I call it your zone of genius. So if you think about it, if you're really good at the discovery, called the initial part, do that and build the whole team around you so that they can support you. It's sort of like how Michael Jordan had, Dennis Rodman, who'd get rebounds, and he had all these people. He had Pippen, so he could push the ball off to him and pass. And what it does is it allows you to capitalize on your superpower, and that's where most people should fall. The last one, the dentist model, although I love it, I think most mortgage brokers would struggle with it unless you have a proclivity towards management and marketing, or have a way to solve those 2 problems. So that's the 3 models. So there's the celebrity model, which is where you usually start, but don't get stuck there, because if you by getting stuck there, you can end up creating something that doesn't scale very well, or will suck up. So if you are successful, will take up so much of your time that you will not either be able to, you'll hit a ceiling of growth, or if you go away on vacation, all of a sudden your phone is still ringing, you're still on your computer, you can't actually take a break. And I'd say most people will be better off if you can get that past that hump. You get into the point guard model is a much better model for you. And if you're really sophisticated, do the dentist model. If you're listening to this and you've built the dentist model, I would love to chat with you, because that is definitely the smallest number of people that I have interviewed or had the chance to do any coaching with have that built that model. And so if you know somebody who's done it successfully, I would love to chat with them, because I'd like to look under the hood a bit more and see what they're doing, and maybe share with you guys some of the lessons that they've learned, because it is the rarest model out there, but also the most profitable if you can pull it off. Hopefully you found that useful. Hey, I'm Scott Peckford. This is the I Love Mortgage Brokering podcast. And each week we share with you these ideas to help you just think about your business, give you a framework, a lens to look at your business to improve it. And hopefully you find this useful. As I always say on my every episode, there's no problem in your business someone else hasn't already solved. Your problem is who's got the solution, who solved it, and that I can learn from. Hopefully this podcast provides some of those answers. Until next time, build smart, scale fast, and own your success.